I just want to ask that there's many stories that are ascribed to the whole process of Hajj. For example, the story of Hajra and Ismail alayhi salam when
Uh-huh.
Hajra was trying to look for water and she went up to Safa and Marwa as well as Zamzam.
Uh-huh.
Are those sort of authenticated? Are when we go around the Sa'i, the Safa and Marwa,
Uh-huh.
are we trying to remember those stories?
Right.
Right?
Unfortunately, the more it is famous, the less it is true. It is, has no basis at all because we know this is something which is found in the hadith of the Prophet, which is cited in Bukhari, but it's not found anywhere in the Quran. In fact, the Quran gives an exactly opposite view. It tells us that when Abraham had settled or was settling his progeny in Mecca. Abraham was, I mean, Ishmael was almost 8 or 10 year old in his own, I mean, in his own age. He was not an infant as is generally related that he was just about a couple of months, and his mother Hajra left him at a certain place, and she started to roam around to find some water, and Ishmael actually rubbed his heel on the ground and then sprouted the whole fountain of Zamzam. So this whole story is fabricated, or I mean, it's far from true. The Quran, in fact, tells us then when Abraham had settled his progeny, Ishmael had been born, and he was, I mean, at a certain age. And in fact, at that age, the sacrifice with which he was required to do, Abraham, Ishmael was he was 14 years old at that time, and in response to that act of sacrifice, he was blessed with a second son, who was Isaac. And then, of course, we know that Isaac was taken to Palestine, and he and his mother Sarah, they were made to inhabit Palestine. So, if you look at the Quran, the whole history tells us that when Abraham had come to Mecca, Ishmael had been born, and he was not an infant at all. So this sa'i that we call, or this walk between the Safa and Marwa, basically symbolizes the same thing, that the animal which are to be sacrificed, they are made to walk across the place of that sacrifice also. So this was an ancient Arab tradition. So that's just as they would be required to encircle the place of sacrifice, they were also required to walk uh, along that. So basically, it is that symbolism which is found in Sa'i. It has no link with Hajra or Hagar, as we call her, and Ishmael. And if you would like to have some more details, so I have written a very detailed article on this, the whole hadith that is available, also a lecture. So I'm just going to have just given you this brief introduction. Otherwise, as I said, it is very famous, I know, but it's far from true.